Welcome back, travelers of the internet, to Right Helm Recording. This is your host, Master Bako, playing the Pillars of Eternity 2. And last we left off, we were here in Hasongo, and we've relit the Luminous Adra here for this Rawatayan outpost that was attacked by Aethys. Stomp. Maybe a third stomp. There's third stomp. He sucked all the souls out and buggered off, and we've established a link to him, and we chased off the angry fish snake people. There's somebody here we want to talk to. Bairn. He's new. We already talked to Zuhira. I bet this guy's a Dawnstar and may have some information for us.
Light of Aethys be upon you, neighbor. Are you looking for survivors?
Unlike the other survivors you've seen, this young man, despite a haggard look and a set of dirt-smeared, tattered clothes, wears a calm face and speaks with a steady voice. Are you one of the children of the Dawnstars? My friend is looking for someone you may know.
A short lady, about my age, came from Deerwood with her son. Let's see, freckles, braids usually. Punches you in the arm if she likes you, face if not. Oh, and that's if you're lucky.
Where else would she punch you?
No, that doesn't sound like anyone.
The young man's face remained smooth, betraying neither surprise nor interest. Is there someone else we might ask?
I don't think you'll have much luck around here. I know all my neighbors.
Well, that was worthless. Alright, just walk away from that, I suppose. Uh-oh. Hey, I didn't attack your outpost. It was Aethys. Hey guys, can we talk about this? Hasongo is a mound of wreckage on the horizon when you see a dozen junks sailing toward you. Even at this distance, you can tell they are making good speed. One of the ships pulls up alongside yours, and a well-dressed Amawa man approaches the edge of the deck. You do not recognize him, but he grins cryptically at you. I am Matsura, Grand Secretary of the Royal Deadfire Company and Special Emissary of the Ranga Nui of Rawatai. He nods, but he's gazing toward Hasongo with a peculiar smile. The Adra beacon, visible even here, shines brightly. It surprises me that you have largely escaped notice in the streets of Nakataka. I suspect that will soon change. What is this about? I want to extend the thanks of the Royal Deadfire Company for what you've done here. He raises one hand toward the Adra beacon. You've restored a valuable asset, whether or not that was your intention. He gives you a quick, sly smile. The others at the palace will want to hear of this, no doubt, and you may as well take credit while the deed is fresh. Just keep on moving in, alright? Go to Serpent's Crown in Nakataka, and later, come and see me at the Brass Citadel. I am always eager to forge relationships with such resourceful individuals. At any rate, I have much to attend to, and it seems you do as well. Clear skies, Captain Rollen Tolstag. Atsura nods as his crew makes ready to sail once more. Well then, that was quite the scare, I guess. Good thing they don't want a piece of me. So, Nakataka, he says.
There's some that's bound for Hanshin-say, and some that's bound for months. Heave away.
You blink and find yourself standing in the knee-high grass of an endless field, with the day just falling into dusk.
Uh-oh.
Then, the earth falls away. The wind ceases, and you are sent tumbling up into the dark of the sky.
Watcher.
The voice of the Pallid Knight shakes the earth at your feet. You have returned to Bareth's realm. Your soul once more called to attend the wishes of the God of Death.
This shit again?
You can't be certain, but you think you might see the barest hint of a smile tugging at the edges of the Pallid Knight's lips.
Once again, you have spoken with the Child of Light. Tell me what you have learned.
He makes Fermagrin's teeth.
Intriguing.
The Pallid Knight stares past you, pensive.
While attend, tell me what your many eyes perceive.
Her words ring out, and a heavy silence descends. In the silence breaks the murmur of countless voices. They speak all at once in languages both known and unknown to you. In the space beside Berith, an eye blinks open, followed fast by several more. They are round, keen eyes of Kith, the slit eyes of snakes, the small, dark marbles of birds, the bulbous lanterns of deep-sea fish.
Here we are.
A figure walks through the cloud of eyes as one might step through a door. It is an Orlan, then a pale elf, an ocean human, a Naga, each of them eyeless. They are Wal.
This is the first interesting thing to happen in ages, and we do so love a riddle.
The figure wears an Amawa's grin, and the many voices beneath its own titter.
Yeah, it's so interesting when hundreds of Kith die so Aethys can take a stroll.
Some things must be lost to be found again. You knew that once, when you buried my scroll beneath the earth in Black Meadow. But it seems you have forgotten. We have read the book of your life, Watcher. It is heavy with the weight of your choices, and its pages are not unmarred by the blood of others. You read, but on a smaller scale.
I suppose so.
We see between the strings of the world, and Aethys is there, strumming them like a lute. His tongue is still, yet he sings of a coming joy. What tune he plays, we do not know. It is complex, ever-shifting. One moment vibrating in harmony, the next in discord.
A man strides through the door to Berith's realm. Behind him lope wolves with lolling tongues, and jungle cats whose long tails twitch with every step. Galawain, the changeling, arrives, and he brings with him the wild heart of Aora's untamed places. Fast on Galawain's heels, a small wave of seawater washes across the tiles. It pours off the edge of the platform and cascades down into the beyond. From out of the water rears a glowing lure, then the head of a gigantic fish. The round black eyes of Andra roll to meet yours.
Aethys is nothing if not resourceful. I admire his nerve.
In the changeling's voice, you hear the soft patter of rain on leaves and the rush of wind through treetops.
Aren't you worried?
No, he is a creature of the pack left long alone. Without our strength behind him, he's weak. If his journey leads him back to us, he has proved himself worthy of return to the fold.
Aethys does not return to us. He returns to execute some grand plan. We must stop him.
Andra's voice rises like a tide, panic riding its crest. The doors lining the walls of Berith's realm slam open in unison. Warped pieces of ancient armor and the remnants of discarded weapons roar through the doorways. They meet in the center of the room, in a shower of sparks, and form the vague figure of a man. Finally, a blacksmith's sledge hurtles past your shoulder, and the figure snatches it from the air. A man made half of metal and half of ruined skin stands before you. The rounded metal of a well-worn shield makes up most of his skull, his right eye socket, and jaw. His mouth is pulled forever into a half grimace.
That looks kind of like his left side of his face.
If Aethys has something foolish planned, perhaps we can turn him from that path and set him down a more productive one.
Abaddon's words crash and screech together, like long still gears forced to movement for the first time in centuries.
Abaddon speaks with a child's naivety.
The other gods don't seem too concerned.
He violates not their realms, but mine. I feel his urgency in every stamp of his feet along my spine. I will send tsunamis to slow him if Mogren would stir the earth beneath Mogren's teeth.
The water at your feet recedes. Lava oozes up through the shallow water and a woman made from the guts of the earth emerges. She settles her characteristic broadsword on her shoulder and sighs a cloud of smoke and ash. Mogren returns.
In the age when our steps carved valleys across the face of Eora, our bodies were impervious to all but the strongest attacks. I doubt fire and water will be enough to stop him. But I will bear down upon Aethys with all the heat and fury of the earth. If I must.
Thousands of Kith will die.
The death of thousands now could prevent the death of millions later.
But you don't know if you'll save millions. You might kill thousands for nothing.
Dark, inky tears fall from Andra's eyes.
Sacrifices of the few protect the futures of the many. You cannot let your petty mortal feelings blind you to the urgency of the dilemma Aethys has thrust upon us.
Don't forget, my petty mortal feelings are the only reason your wrists don't chafe in Wodika's shackles.
You will mind upon whose ground you tread.
The Pallid Knight watches you with keen, predatory eyes. The deep, bellowing cry of an aurochs shakes the ground beneath your feet. The cry drones on and on, a moan without end. Wal's many eyes squeeze shut. Andra slips back beneath her waves. Mogren dissipates in a swirling cloud of steam. Galawain's beasts cower and whine. Only the Pallid Knight stands impassive.
My end comes to all things in time. Should Aethys care to hasten the inevitable, I welcome his efforts.
If he hopes to bring about the end of the world, he'll die too.
The Child of Light will not choose the hour of my death.
Mogren tests the edge of her broadsword with a smoldering finger.
He sows chaos in his longing for a radiant dawn. So much will be lost in the cacophony of fear his actions inspire.
The crack of thunder rends the air. The gods fall silent.
We can wait no longer to act. Speak with him, Watcher. Discover what it is he plans.
It's not like I have that much of a choice.
To live is a choice, and you yet draw breath. Drink deep of the air, Watcher. We have work yet to do.
The warmth of the Pallid Knight's breath blows soft on the back of your neck, though she stands nowhere near you. Water begins to creep across the floor. It swells, runs swiftly, and catches at your ankles. You scrabble at the tiles, but it's no use. The current's pull drags you off the edge of Bareth's realm, and into the fathomless beyond. You splash down in water so dark you can't see the bottom. Then, the water recedes, gone like a dream upon waking. The hard wood of your cabin's floor presses against your spine. The gods are gone, but you remain.
Well, wasn't that something, huh? Let's go and try to talk to party members.
Yeah? Tell me what's on your mind?
How's it you came to be a worshipper of Gon, more so than of Aethys?
My folks... You might say they're not your typical Aethasians. Sure, they cling to the light more than the darkness. But the war, it touched my family. And it changed them. Killed some. Not that I remember firsthand. The others toughened, turned survivors. That much I saw with my own eyes, even years later.
Doesn't really answer the question, though.
My aunt's the one who taught me about the cycle of life and death. How everything happens in stages. Whether forwards or backwards, from seed to rot to rebirth again, it's all just states of existence and balance. See?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I first learned about the slice of Gone within Aethys.
She grins, big, confident, and happy.
After that, I read all the doctrines of Gone. Anything and everything I could get my hands on.
Such as?
The 12 books of Nearwith, plus the epistles from the minor prophets. A lot of them aren't a part of today's canonization, but that doesn't mean they're wrong.
She crosses her arms over her chest, expression pinched.
It's tradition for the youngest born to take up the priesthood of Aethys. Well, I did it in my own way.
Are there others like you? Other Gonites out there?
Of course, though we're few and spread out. Most don't keep to temples. Soul shepherding requires travel.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly I learned through reading. Any text pertaining to Gone I can get my grubby hands on.
I get the feeling you don't really fit in with the other Dawnstars. They're... I don't know.
I guess it's the nature of light to want to best the darkness. But you can't have balance like that.
Head downcast, she thumbs the edge of her sickle thoughtfully.
And it's not like night and death are bad things.
I mean, it depends on how they're brought.
Oh, no use in fearing what's natural. Life isn't one long line. It's cyclical. You gotta shed the old to become the new.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
No need to fiddle-foot around. I'm listening.
Well,
you need me, I'll be 2 whoops and a holler away.
2 whoops and a holler away. Alrighty. Aloth, you ever figured out...
Great and terrible things are at work. And once again, you seem to be in the middle of it.
Aloth is twisting the edge of his sash between his hands, a purposeful frown on his face.
The Rawatayans we passed will doubtless spread word of what you've done in Hasongo.
Hopefully good things.
But others will want to know what you've seen. They'll look to you for answers.
And I'll have to try to report truthfully.
You make it sound so simple.
He spreads his hands in exasperation.
Don't you worry what will come next? What events you might move forward?
If I thought about it that much, I'd never really do anything or accomplish.
I wish I had your clarity.
What's this really about, Aloth? He sighs through his nose, his lips pressed together.
It reminds me of the question that drew me to the Deadfire. The one I've been avoiding.
He rubs the back of his neck.
I promised to tell you what I was doing among the Animancers at Port Marge. As you may have guessed, I was observing them, gathering information on the various Animancy operations in the region.
What for?
Animancy is a subject of particular interest to the Leaden Key. Through it, I hope to pick up the trail.
A spark of pleasure gleams in his eyes. That's pretty smart.
Merely a first step.
Still, his ears redden.
After that incident in Old Valia, I thought more about the Leaden Key and its particular composition.
Go on.
It's existed for over 2,000 years. Say what you will about its motives and methods, but that's an impressive tenure.
He clasps his hands behind his back and begins pacing.
That's when I realized how short-sighted I'd been. To think I could undo the Leaden Key without understanding how it works.
How the Leaden Key works? How would you learn about that?
By studying its origins, of course.
He pauses long enough to show you a triumphant flash of teeth.
Fight in a spur, the lad. I found references to an ancient Leaden Key cabal in the Deadfire. Possibly one of the oldest, if accounts are credible. And they appear to have been working independently, without direct intervention from Theos, for almost 2 millennia.
He watches you eagerly, waiting for that to sink in. Very well, how do we find them?
There's the challenge.
He stops pacing.
Most sources refer to them as the Painted Masks. But I haven't met anyone here who knows that name. I don't know where in the Deadfire they are exactly, but I was hoping we could look for them together.
He folds his hands, looking hopeful and a little sheepish. Don't worry, Aloth. I promise we'll find them, one way or another.
I believe you.
He smiles, but worry crinkles the corner of his eyes.
Anyway, there's daylight yet. I suppose that's enough from me.
Ready? Adair?
Wasn't on you.
Holding up all right? Okay. Well, how about Palagina?
I would not have guessed I would find myself back with the Watcher of Cadnua. Much less at the Order of Akanta.
Her expression fluctuates between amusement and annoyance.
I know that you did not intend for misfortune to befall me. And I appreciate what you said in Queen's Birth.
Sure.
Perhaps this time will go better for both of us. You only have to ask.
I guess we'll see you around. There's nothing really to discuss, I guess.
Permission to speak freely?
I think Maya just asked for permission to speak freely.
I should come clean about something, Captain.
Maya scratches the back of her head, sighing. Speak your mind.
Atsura didn't set me loose just so I could stay busy. Fact of the matter is, he gave me a job to do.
To keep an eye on me for Rawatai.
I've got this stack of missives I need to deliver. Noble errand, right?
She shows you a small collection of scrolls in her pack, all judiciously sealed with the sigil of the Royal Deadfire Company. Okay. You want these delivered out to Rawatai and outposts.
The company has a lot of people working away from headquarters, and Atsura trusted me to get these in the right hands. I hope that isn't a problem.
I'll consider it when we have time.
Fair enough. We're bound to run into my contacts one way or another, so don't lose any sleep over it.
Righty.
This one's bound for Harama, an acquaintance. Good sailor. He's somewhere off in Tikawara.
Tikawara.
And these are for Tuaha, an old friend stationed in Port Maje. You meet some strange types in the Navy.
Okay. Seraphin?
Ahoy, Captain. What can I do you for?
Nothing really to discuss. Alright, continue on to Nekataka. Uh-oh. Colorful parrot alights on the... What? Excuse me? I didn't get to read that. We're there. What happened? So confused. Aloth, you're still looking a bit injured there. I forgot to rest up a bit.
Yes?
You said you wanted to talk to me. Okay. Oh, that's all, I guess. Alright. Since you've changed your mind.
Your coming is a favorable omen already.
The prince nods and crosses his arms, a self-satisfied smile on his lips. How's that?
You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats. It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies.
Aruihi chuckles to himself and nods. Yeah, you don't seem to take your rivals very seriously.
How can I when they posture and peck like a pair of kata birds?
Aruihi smirks and shakes his head.
I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this. Ikira, but I hear whispers that you visited the Hazanui's Adra lighthouse and survived.
Aruihi smiles, stroking his chin.
Too much has happened for you to waste words with the royal brother. From now on, you work with Onikaza as an honored guest of her rooftop garden. Only, be kind to her cats.
Oh, I'm plenty good with animals. Rooftop garden, you say? I guess we just start heading up. Upstairs. Marvelous. You guys just absolutely amazing. Let's walk around, I suppose. Man, there's a lot of stairs just to get all the way up to here. Oh, hey, those are some big cats there you got. Real big cats.
It is high time we spoke away from the exhaustive filter of the court.
The queen has affected a far more relaxed posture. A pair of tigers lounge indolently beside her seat.
My children, Kahopa and Tangaloa, It is to them that I answer when dignitaries do not pound at my door.
She pats the heads of the massive tigers, smiling as they lean into the gesture.
I think I speak for all of us when I say we'd be honored to pet your children.
I'll move in and pet them. Her tigers raise their heads to observe you, each heavy breath wafting the lingering scent of a recent meal. They endure your gesture with indifference. The queen nods with approval.
A messenger from the jaws of Tangaloa speaks with the voice of wisdom and change, I say.
She raises her brows at you.
It is fitting that yours should be the voice that tells of Hasongo's fate. What did you see there?
Some Naga occupied the colony after Aethys drained the Adra. I allowed them to live.
The snakes are on edge. Where comes this new boldness?
Onikaza thumbs her chin and narrows her eyes.
Far be it from me to complain if they make trouble for outsiders.
There is a weariness to her thoughts that she doesn't bother to hide.
What of Aethys? If you know why he terrorizes the Deadfire, speak on.
Aethys is heading for Mogren's teeth. I believe there is only a waypoint. Tapping her chin, Onikaza nods and weighs the matter. At length, her even expression spreads into a pleased and knowing smile.
If Aethys makes for Magren's teeth, I say the Rathun will grind him to dust for the praise of their warrior matron.
Rathun are kind of like fire giants. They're big people, but Aethys is way bigger. Her brow rises with interest.
Even if they fail, it will be an enemy cleared from my plate. This is the gratitude of Nagati, I say.
I doubt anyone could slow down Aethys, much less stop him.
Optimism has not abandoned me yet, Watcher, but I note your thoughts on the matter. From Port Mage to Hasongo to Magren's teeth, Aethys follows a rich vein of Adra. It takes him northeast to more interesting territory.
What can you tell me about?
In the deepest memory of the tribes, we have told stories of Magren's teeth. Embellished sailors' fables, Akira, but not without some truth.
Mm-hmm.
My people speak of treacherous seas, lakes of fire, and the ancient warriors hammered to life on Magren's anvil.
Onikaza props her chin on her fist and looks you up and down.
Ashen Maw is the grandest and most accessible of the peaks. It is the sharpest tooth in Magren's jaw. Prepare yourself for a fight.
I will, Highness.
If you make preparations in Nekataka, I say we can help each other.
She sits up straighter and regards you with a leveled expression.
I must keep the city's peace, and I have only so many arms and eyes. While the Deadfire screams, I would see Nekataka outlast the storm to come.
What do you need from me?
What I need is a lasting peace that will outlive my dynasty. But I will accept peace of mind for now. What do you know of my water shapers, Herald of Bereth?
I know they gave Rawatai no end of trouble in their early advance, back during the wars.
Akira, if you recall history, then you know why I am protective over the guild. My water shapers are the levy holding back Rawatai's advance. An adept standing at the prow of a war canoe is enough to send the fleet scrambling for the shallows.
She eases back, languid and satisfied.
This reminds me. I owe the Hazanui a basket of koiki in remembrance of the Battle of Nakaroatl.
She snaps her fingers and nods to an attendant who scurries off. Poking the hornet's nest, I see.
That is Aruihi's job, but Akira, there is a side of diplomacy which I enjoy.
Onikaza winks.
While the problems of Aethys and overindulgent admirals plague these waters, I have summoned the masters of water shaping to Nekataka. Now would be the time to confer with Guildmaster Mairu, but she does not answer my summons.
Onikaza looks out on her city. Her hand squeezes down on the armrest. You think something is wrong?
It is too early to grow a forest from this coconut, but I would not dispatch you if I felt at ease. The guild can suffer no setbacks. If Myru shirks her duties, her queen would know the reason.
She stares off into the distance and sighs, her gaze unfixed.
Nagati, do not abandon us now.
Onikaza turns her gaze back to you and flinches. This was not a thought she intended to share. Sounds like trouble brewing in the Nekataka. Does that take us the whole way down? Let's try it. So if I recall correctly, the Water Shapers Guild is at Pariki's Overlook, next to the bathhouse. We're not going to the bathhouse again. I've not been to the Water Shapers Guild, we'll just straight to Pariki's Overlook.
You're right. He does do that with his hands.
Fie, 'tis rough in his precious spelling book that scares the lad. Or maybe 'tis notching his wee finger.
You gotta stop. My sides hurt. Oh, I miss this.
Surely you've spied how he's always brushing himself. He won't say, but he's afeard of seagull shit.
Interesting. So I guess Isomir and Adair are getting along. That's good to see. So here's the Water Shapers Guild. It's very, very pretty. They got water people out here praising, I guess, Andra.
There may be other Naga nearby.
Uh-oh. Yep, things are going poorly in the guild here. What's up, people? Pitied is Ngati, Lady of Lament, as the pearl orb of the heavens crosses her view. Her eyes well with tears as constant as rain. But the moon's skyward journey continues space. The lover's affection as ephemeral as fingers touching. That's probably gonna be a puzzle. Okay. Gotta do an investigation and stuff.
Go no further. There is a situation in the guild hall.
Water Shaper glances over his shoulder, his chest rising and falling with deep breaths.
All is under control, I say. But the building is closed until Myru cleans up the mess below.
He thumbs over to the blocked stairwell. It definitely looks like you do not have everything under control. You got several dead out there. Onikaza sent me to speak with Myru. What is happening?
Nothing beyond the likes of us, I say.
His exhaustion breaks under a proud grin.
Naga swam in from the waterways of our sanctum. We pressed back until they fled underground. Then Myru gathered her forces for a stand at Pariki's tomb.
Pariki's tomb.
I am to guard the staircase while she routs the last of them. Kira, but Myru is fierce for her years.
He grimaces as another deep rumble shakes the earth under your feet. Why are they attacking the guild?
I do not know. With great purpose, they throw their bodies back to Rikuhu's bowels. I say, this is personal. They strike with anger, not conviction.
He turns his arm and studies a shallow wound. Well, previously the Naga had attacked Hasango because they thought they were doing a god's will, so to say. I don't know if they have emotions quite the same as, say, us warm folk, blooded folk, right? What's causing those tremors, though?
Not snakes, I say.
Kenu frowns, worrying the back of his head.
Unless they brought a battering ram.
Well, I hope Myru leaves something for me.
Ha! I say you will have to run fast. She could cut through Naga like a harpoon through blubber. I will remain and dispatch any snakes who slither past you. Good hunting.
Ikenu nods and touches his brow.
Myru forbade me from following her, but I say Ngati would not want me to miss this.
The blue-skinned Juana thumbs his chin and winks at you. Well, I suppose I'll take all the help I can get, especially a water shaper. Sounds like a druid.
Then let us be off. Ngati's chosen will bring his foot down on the back of every wriggling snake. Lead on.
He nods toward the stairwell. Yep, druid. Yeah, that sounds good to me. We want to... We probably don't need a priest if we got a druid. This ornate basin makes a high-pitched ringing sound when pressure is applied around the outer rim. Greetings, mortals. This is Berith speaking to you from the heavens above. Support my watcher, for he supports me. Give a like on the video and comment your favorite parts so he may continue his ways of stopping Aothis.